So here's a function um, index in, which takes two parameters, chr, which is a character, and strg, which is a string. And what it will do is it will return a list of all the occurrences by index of char in strg. If char is not an strg, it gives an empty list. And so here's some examples of how this function works. Over here, let's look at the examples first, and then we can look at the function um, definition. So let's say that strg is equal to potato, and that we call index in with o comma strg. And so what that should return is it should return all the positions in potato by index where O occurs. And you can see that I get a list back with 1, 5, and that corresponds with potato being in position 0, 1. So that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the 5. On the other hand, if I do index in strg, it gives me all the the positions of potato by index of character t in potato, and that's going to be 2, 4. So the 2 corresponds with 0, 1, 2. That's the index of the first t. 3, 4. That's the index of the second t. If I do index in of a comma strg, it's going to give me a 3. There's only one occurrence of a in potato, and that's at index of 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. And if I do an index in of z in strg, I get an empty string. Okay, so that's how it works. Let's take a look at the function. So essentially, what I did here is I used indices, an empty list as an accumulator into which I put the indices that match. I initialize the index to 0, and then I traverse the strg, the string, character by character, and I do it with a for loop for c and strg. Then there's a simple Boolean condition. As I traverse the loop, if c is equals char, I append the index, which I've initialized to 0, into this accumulator list. And then before going back and getting the next c, index is increased. It increased by 1. Index plus equals to 1 increases index by 1. So as I traverse the list, I'm keeping the index up to date with where I am. And then I simply return this list. If there are no matches, the list was initially empty, and after doing all of this, it will continue to be empty. And so there you go. Make sure you look at this. It's a good example of a couple things that we've talked about. List accumulators, indices, and then I'm using, as I mentioned in class, the shortcut version of increasing the index. This is a shortcut for index is equal to index plus 1.